This track is the location where the end loading ramp will be positioned. I want to set it in place so that I have enough room on the back side to build up an earthen ramp area that matches up to the top of the deck. Also, I have a joint bar right here, which means that the rail this direction is a 39-foot piece of rail, which is a very convenient place to place the end of the ramp. Now I'm going to break off these end bumpers. There we go. Those are off. Now this piece of tie right here is actually a PC board tie, and I've popped it off, and now lifting up on the rail I can hopefully remove this. There we go. Section of rail is out. Now I'm going to use this chisel blade X-Acto to carve these ties off of the plywood base. Okay, we'll position the wheel stops in this manner, and that allows the car to roll in with the coupler moving into the appropriate position in the notch in the top of the dock. To ensure that the rails are well attached at the ends, I'm going to place just a little bit of CA under each rail and press it into place. Now to affix the wheel stops, I'll apply a little bit of CA onto the underside. And then set them in place like this. I've added a couple of spikes to mark the alignment of the dock, and I'm now going to apply some canopy glue to the base and press it into place. Okay, I've added canopy glue to the bottom. And then we'll set this into position and add some weights to it to keep her firmly pressed in place. And now we'll let the glue dry and we'll proceed with the scenicking. I've carved up a piece of styrofoam and glued it in on the end of the ramp. And I'm going to paint it with some craft store black to cover up the white color. And this will become the base for the ballast that we're going to apply. I'm going to start ballasting by using this very coarse black ballast. I will use it to fill in the areas along the edge and build up the slope across the front and on the back side. Okay, to start, I will wet the surface with some 20% isopropyl alcohol. And now I will apply diluted matte medium. Now we'll let this dry and then apply the fine black cinder fill. Now I'm going to add some dilute matte media along this area and pre-wet it, and then we will go ahead and apply some of the fine ballast. Now this material up here is still wet, so we should be able to sprinkle this fine ballast on and then apply more matte media to the surface. Now I'm going to add a few drops of alcohol on here to pre-wet this again. When you're using the fine ballast, it can tend to be very, very difficult to get it to bond through. So adding the wetting agent will considerably help get that accomplished. Now I'm going to add the matte media again. And you see how it tends to pool up and not immediately soak in. It's one of the difficulties of using an ultra-fine cinder ballast. It's easy to tell where you have not pre-wetted, as the matte media tends to just bead up and not flow. I'm attempting to smooth out the contours a little bit here. The only area that is of major concern to me is this area right here, where some of the black pigments in the ballast have impinged upon the top of this tie, and it may require some cleanup work to get that back to an appropriate color. We'll just have to see what it looks like when it dries.